trying something different. Took forever to set this up, but we're looking good. All systems go, which is a beautiful. So, what we're doing today is we're launching a comprehensive sales sort of strategy. I'm going to be painting live. And let me show you what's up here if I can. If you go, okay, so this is the crazy new thing. All right, let's give this some applause. If you go to that QR code, it'll take you to a brand new spanking website. This is a website that I've created focusing on my Stars of David campaign, and I'm here to fight anti-Semitism, the explosion of anti-Semitic rhetoric after October 7th was shocking to me. And then I decided to say something about it with my art, and I was met with resistance and all this craziness. So there's an origin story, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to paint live together. So I'm not going to go into the origin story so much, but once again, this QR code will bring you to this website. And the cool thing about this website is I'm able to create a discount offer. So as long as this stream we're gonna stream for about an hour, and I'm selling 30 by 30. I'm sorry, 36 inch by 36 inch, 3 foot by 3 foot laminated heirloom prints of this image. More to come later, but we're starting out with this image of Marlene Dietrich, and the origin story is here. So I'm going to bring down the sound. And so I was rejected. I was told, like, man, you went to enter this artwork for a mural, you never get it. I was told this by a business leader in the community. I was like, what do you mean? It's like, this community is totally DEI, totally against anything that has to do with beauty or I was told Marlene Dietrich's image is way too pro-Jewish, way too beautiful, and worst of all, too white. That DEI is a euphemism for anti-white sort of ideology. And I was shocked. I thought this guy was nuts, but he was right. And so I created sort of some artwork. And so this is a little video I created to kind of explain the story in under a minute and in under 90 seconds. Here we go. Oops, sorry. Let's start from the top.
Some are blessed, gave you my love, but you just pushed me away. Watch me fall.
So it was inconceivable to me that this woman who was just this poster child for anti-Nazi courage, and she took hundreds of thousands of dollars of her own money. She donated the entire proceeds to one of her films, and she was like Kim Kardashian back in the day. She was one of the biggest stars in the world, and so she put her money where her mouth is. She went and entertained the troops right at the Siegfried Line, where we couldn't penetrate into Germany for just like around the Battle of the Bulge that time. She was living with the soldiers in the foxholes, almost died of pneumonia. So her story of courage was just so powerful that it was inconceivable to me that there would be this, backlash against this, her image. So I, in response, am going to just plaster this image all over humanity in celebration of how the Jewish culture changed the world through Hollywood, through it's baked into the cake of the Jewish culture, this idea of inclusion and diversity, and we see that expressed in the early days of cinema. And so these crazy goofballs who are all anti-Semitic, as some sort of statement to their DEI principles, they're just completely, have lost the plot and have no idea what they're talking about. So if you were to go to this QR code, it takes you to an invoice. It takes you to here. This is an invoice to purchase a one-of-a-kind print, and sorry, wrong thing here. All right, we can get rid of that. All right, so I charge 50 cents a centimeter squared. Picasso's $10,000 a centimeter squared for one of his paintings. I'm $9 a centimeter squared for one of my paintings. And for one of my prints, heirloom, museum quality laminated prints, I'm 50 cents a centimeter squared, only while this live transmission is happening. So otherwise I am $1 a centimeter squared for this print. It's 36 inches by 36 inches, $1 a centimeter squared, usual price. But while we're together here for the next 43 minutes, it's half price. And so that's the promotion, and I'm able to create this offer. And so we'll be doing this hopefully, on a regular basis. I don't know if this will be at that 50% discount tomorrow or the next day, or if even Marlene Dietrich in this rendition will be offered. So that's the idea here. But what is cool about this presentation, so many things going on in my head here, is that this method is a mindfulness method. And the way that I paint, I developed this way of painting that I didn't realize it at the time, but it's it incorporates mindfulness principles. And so what I like to do is like to put on 432 music, is what you're listening to now. And I've got it set up, right? The 60-second desktop atelier. And I'm usually wearing a more formal dress. But since this is the first sort of inaugural broadcast, I'm going to show you the setup. All right, the 60-second. All right, so this is my Control Central. This is what I use to broadcast to you all the different elements of the stream. This is what I paint off of. And so I can actually create an atelier right here within 60 seconds. So we're gonna go like drum roll, please. Can I get a drum roll? All right, here we go. The 60-second. I know, I am sorry. Alright, so here we go. Now, all you gotta do is get an easel. Oops. And put it next to your computer screen, and I will teach you. If you join our community, my community, we're gonna have a locals community set up pretty soon. I'll show you how to paint for free, man. Paint for, did you see that? Did you see that? Come on. 60-second atelier. This is a painting. This is my source image. And what you're listening to is mindfulness, royalty free, as it were, mindfulness music. And so how this works, let me show you how this works. So if we go here, all right, so we start out like this, upside down. And the reason why we do this, and this is where the mindfulness part comes in. And the reason why we want, let me see if I can, I'm gonna go like this just to get it. I've got no room to sling paint because the camera's right here next to my arm, but this is, I just want to show you. And the reason, let's see, are we gonna, okay, yeah, I gotta, hold on one sec, I have to set the, all right. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to just completely divorce yourself from a nose or lips or eyes, because what happens as an artist is, oops, look at me, I'm all washed out. I'm gonna have to change that real quick, excuse me. How did that happen? Come on, there we go. And you're an artist, and doesn't matter who you are, you're gonna be painting, and this happens to every artist that has ever lived in the history of humankind. You're thinking about your art, but you're also thinking about how will this be received? Will the person that I'm painting, if it's a gift, will the person like it? Will the reception be awesome? Will I be cheered? Will I be ridiculed? And within that ego trip, you begin to lose focus, because within this right here, okay, within, oops, all right, there we are. Within this right here, all right, to get this, to own the tone, the ego is irrelevant. All you're thinking about is placement and tonality. This is how Michelangelo, Caravaggio, all the great realist painters, Velasquez, they all were making these decisions, which were between placement and tone. And our brains and our eyes, this is more, it is so bioavailable as far as your eyes, how your eyes perceive light, and how the brain perceives a face. And by turning it upside down like this, and by using this template that I've created, you can easily and quickly, this is about 15 hours of work, I would say, maybe like 5 sessions of 3 hours. And so I'm just about to go in for the kill here. Maybe we'll do it together today or tomorrow, we'll see, but I'm about to tighten this all up. And so by creating this specific distinction between light and dark, this very hard cut between light and dark, you get the basic shapes. And as you go in, this is at a 30% reduction in brightness. Then we bring it up a little bit. We, depending on your, I don't really need the grid, but if you're just starting out, the grid can help you out a lot. And then as you move in, you might want to check yourself, how you're doing. Then as you get, okay, and so the whole thing is, if you have a computer screen, right? Your job is to get an easel next to your computer screen. You want the canvas and what's on your screen to be the same size. And you want it to be like this, like I have it. You're not going to be able to see it too well, but right, the angle is a little bit. So that's my computer screen. That's my canvas. All right. And so anybody that joins my community or purchases artwork from me gets to learn how to paint for free. Come on. How's that? All right. And so let's see if I can go here and then go here. Oops, not there. There we go. All right. So this is it's a cookie. It's a, what do you call that? A cutting board. I bought this at Jewel for like $7 on sale. All right. And then I have it. So I make sure that the painting and the And this easel I got at Dick Blick, I think. It was on sale for like €7. It's a very inexpensive $7. Very inexpensive thing. Okay, now I can't really see if anybody's commenting because the canvas is blocking my restream feed here. So if you have any notes, I'll get to it in a second. So, but feel free to say hi and join in. And so this is how ridiculously cool. Why I'm not dressed, because I'm not completely set up for the broadcast. But so this is white spirits, okay? So I put in a little tiny bit of white spirits, and I like to put it into here, to a bigger panel. I've got my paints here. This is ivory black, and we're gonna stay in monochrome, right? Because that's where all the technique is. You can always move to color when you want. And then I got this at the dollar store. And so I like to mix on here and then put my tones right here next to, and I'll show you what I mean. So all you need is a coffee can, right? I've got this elaborate setup here, which you definitely see. I made this in the 3D printer. All you need is a coffee can, people. You don't have to go 3D printer. But these are a collection of my brushes. You'll only need 10 out of all of these. We'll talk about that later. So let's see, we'll get to here. Yeah, we'll get to there. And now I'm going to use this, right? All right, so titanium white. Titanium white. Goes right there, baby. Come on. Okay. And then you could just put a piece of saran wrap over that, and it'll stay for the entire week. And then your ivory black, and you stick it right there. Remember, this is the 60-second atelier, and you're doing this as a mindfulness exercise. So can you imagine, right? You're like, okay, you got your atelier, it's right next to your desk, and you've come home from work, or maybe you're just starting your day, and you've got a half an hour or an hour that you can block out there. And you say, man, I want to get into it. I want to hit my painting, right? And think about, who would you be painting? And we always go, and so with this method, it's always a 36 by 36, I'm sorry, a 30 centimeter by 30 centimeter, 1 foot by 1 foot. Square when you're starting out, Where's my... Okay. 1 foot by 1 foot. All right. So we start off in the square so we can turn it over and manipulate it and have our grid be and measurement be consistent, because that's how important it is. You want to have placement and tone and placement. It's more important than the size of the canvas. It's more important than the shape of the canvas. It's everything. Placement and tone and placement. From there, then you can just go to whatever size or whatever it is that you want to do. But this is the mindfulness part. This is the fun part. This is the part where you can be in a mindfulness state and create something that is just too cool for school, man. All right. So can we see? We get off of the QR code. Yeah. We got a tone here, and so the next thing is we want a middle tone. So we just take some ivory white, and it's always dark into light, because the pigment, a little pigment, goes a long way, baby. And so I'm in my Marlene Dietrich stage. So ivory black. And we just go like that, man. Because we're gonna try to go into a mid-tone. Alright, that's how we start out. And then, oh yeah, spread it around. And the mid-tone is usually about, like, if you squint your eyes and look at your skin, you know, it's, if the tones are close. Well, I guess it depends on how light or dark you are, right? We can go a little bit darker. Just a touch. All right, see, just a touch. Okay. Yeah, baby. Come on now. Okay, the process is really super clean. It's just to broadcast and to do it for you. Can take a little, and so then that goes right there. I'm a little bit backlit with that light, so it's a little bit difficult to see the tonal values, but and then you break it down. So you put some dark into here to get a mid-tone, and then you bring some light here and you take some mid into the light to make another tone, and then you can go and split it up to as many as you want, but between 5 and 7 iterations or gradients of tone is all you need. And then to show you how cool and easy it is, here's your mineral spirits right here. Just take paper towel or a Kleenex or whatever. Boom. You're done. Look how clean and wonderful. Do the same. Alright, so we're big boys and girls, so we're using oil. And then you can do the same here, man. And you want to use odorless mineral spirits. I love that smell. Okay, you see what I'm saying? So, Velasquez, Da Vinci, Michelangelo, they were all like the Elon Musks of their day. They weren't like this Jackson Pollock, Picasso throwing paint all over the place. They were engineers, man. And so they dressed well. They were artisans. And so what we're learning today is a craft that is hundreds and hundreds of years old. Okay, so let's see. Try to get it good. All right, so we want to make something. So now we're gonna paint. And we're gonna talk about the power of painting and the power of realism. There we go. And so take a look. Back in your chair and squint. More look than put. Where am I off? I'm gonna try to get the perspectives correct. All right. It looks like we can maybe the nose might need a little. So you just take your brush, dip it into your mineral spirit, dab it with a cloth. And then, oh yeah, baby. You make your move. You gotta have courage. You don't want to mess up the thing that you work so hard on. Right? You notice this right here is the darkest dark. Everything else is a servant to that darkness. The darkest dark is right there. The darkest dark is right there. So everything else is not as dark as that. And what you're doing, and so then one brush per tone. So that's my light brush. It's my light brush, and I'm going to use this for the darker tones. And sometimes if you have 5 different gradients, we've got 5 different brushes. Alright. blur is essential to this piece, because as you move into the area of focus that the artist, the photographer used, you're creating an ethereal sensation that this photographer took years to develop. And you're growing as so as I'm talking to you, more look than put, I'm kind of seeing what needs to be touched up, and we're just hitting it, man. And so when in doubt, blur it out. Yeah, baby. And after a while, you're not painting a face. Or a chin. You're just trying to get the relationships right. See how that feather and that part of her face, oh man, just got a hint of light being reflected onto the face from that feather. Get in there. And so now, let's hit that. Dip it into the mineral spirits. Grab a little dark, and it's hard for me to see really here with the light that I'm set up, but I'm pretty confident. Something like that, yeah. Get it nice and dark. Where else? And so you become a tonal assassin. You find the tone, and then you make it your own. So if you notice, these areas aren't as dark as that. They're just a tad. So we're gonna spread it out. Lose yourself. There's no ego like, oh, I'm trying to say something important. That's done beforehand. You make the choice. Who do you want to immortalize on canvas? That's the preparation is where the power is. The execution is where the meditation is. All right. we're getting pretty close to completing this image. And I'm gonna do, I think, one more image of Marlene Dietrich, just because her image seems to really it's the foundation of like a question. Is your community too afraid of her image? Because I'm going to be proposing that one of these creations turn into a mural. Which community will have the courage? Because she stands for elegance and diversity. She's like the first gender bender personage, movie star. See, I just hit the camera, so I'm a little bit cramped in my style, but that's okay. And she represents. She was a courageous supporter of the Jewish people. Her story is one of immigration. She immigrated from Germany. She was courted by, I think, Goebbels or Goering. I think it was Goering himself personally came up to her and says, "Come on, don't be a dummy, be a smarty, join the Nazi party." And she came to America, worked with Jewish executive producers, and made the Nazis lose their freaking minds. And so we're selling posters. At 50 cents a centimeter squared until the end of this broadcast. All right. So yeah. Oops. I'm a little bit crowded here. All right. Let's see if I can. All right. And so that's the method. That's the method. And then cleanup is just as easy. I'll show you that too next time. All right. Do you get it? See, that's easier for me, because now I can get in and look at the work better. And so now, like I'm saying, it's the 60-second atelier. Drum roll. You just take your desktop easel. I've got a light here. I've got a 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There. Easels down. Now I'm all ready to get back to work. What do you think? Was that cool or what, man? Yeah. So this QR code will get you, oh my god, look at all the QR codes. Will bring you to this website right here. And here we talk about the mindfulness painting method. You can learn more about. Here's Sade and 432, people. Sade and 432. Meditation and creation. And I'm already feeling, just from our time together here, I'm already feeling the effects of getting into the flow state. And that's what we're doing together here, is just getting into that flow state. And then the 60-second atelier, you just gotta find a desktop easel, man. You gotta find a desktop easel. Put that desktop easel next to your computer screen, and then just join the club. And I'll teach you how to paint for free. All right, 60-second atelier. What are you gonna paint? How's your desk gonna look? And here's the tools. Here's the tools, man. There you go. Who would you paint? Huh? Who would you paint? And this is the sort of idea we're going to be creating posters, 3 foot by 3 foot posters of Golden Age movie stars. And they're all prints from an actual painting. So these are the formats. I'm $1 a centimeter squared for posters, for prints, for heirloom prints, and I'm $9 to $12 a centimeter squared for actual paintings. All right, but in this broadcast, you can get a 50%, 2 minutes to go. We've got a 50% discount on this image right here in poster form. 30 by 30, that size. 36 inches by 36 inches. 3 feet by 3 feet. So can you imagine? Okay, so let's see what Marlene Dietrich has to say for one moment here.
My image was rejected for a mural in a Chicagoland suburb. A local businessman said my image was too sexy, too pro-Jewish, and worst of all, too white for this DEI village. Jewish culture exported diversity through the golden age of cinema to a worldwide audience. This village made a mistake.
All right. You tell him. There we go. Marlena doesn't take any crap. All right. So the regular price is at a centimeter squared is close to $9,000, but it's half price. In 2 minutes, 41 seconds to go. 41 seconds to go, and so now what we do is we go back here like this. We cuss 22 seconds. And the offer is now finished. And so the Stars of David campaign will be what you see when you go to the website. Okay, so that's how it works. And I'll be offering deals every time we get together. But that's the idea. More than a portrait, it's a statement, a piece of cultural resistance. Oh my God, she's so white, she's so pro-Jewish, what are we gonna do? So yeah, and the goal is even though we have this lovely 432 hertz calming music, we want people to look at this art, this beautiful art of Hollywood superstars, which full of an inclusion and diversity given to a worldwide audience by Jewish Hollywood pioneers, right? That's sort of the Stars of David campaign, and this is the type of reaction that we're looking for. You see what I mean? Oh my God, Marlena Dietrich. She's so pro-Jewish. All right. So once again, the deal, the limited offer is over for now, and we'll see what else we can come up with in the days and weeks to come. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you're interested in learning how to paint. I'll teach you how to paint for free if you purchase some of my artwork, or I can get you started if you join my locals group, which will be coming together soon. All right. Cool. It's almost an hour. Excellent. So please leave your questions and comments in the chat. Thanks for watching. And I guess we'll see you next time. All right.